We're here to talk about Mandalorian Season 1, guys. There will be spoilers, so if you don't want to know about it and you haven't seen it yet, stop right now, okay? And come back to us when you've actually watched it. Or if you don't care about spoilers, whatever, keep watching.
Right. So did you like it?
It's okay. I really do not understand the over-excitement over the fan community over this, honestly. And that's my opinion on it. Did you like it?
I loved it.
Heck, of course. See, that's why we have these discussions, because there's different opinions that are always good.
Now, are you a Star Wars fan?
Yes, I am. I am an original Star Wars fan.
What's your favorite of the 9?
Of the 9? Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
And a lot of people say Empire Strikes Back, but I kind of like...
For me, it's A New Hope. I always like the first one.
Yeah.
Episode 4.
Well, you're different from the normal, too, huh?
Yes. Yeah. I like the original best. It was a great story, although Empire Strikes Back, I think, was a better told story.
Yes, because I think it was the flushing out the characters more and stuff like that. But anyways, we're not talking about the original OG.
No, but it sets up why you feel the way you do and why I feel the way I do.
Okay? Yeah. Oh, okay. So
because you're not a huge fan of the Mandalorian,
no,
and you don't understand why, and I'm going to tell you.
No, I know why. We'll explain it.
Oh, okay.
We'll explain it the next episode for season 2 more in depth.
Okay.
Why I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Not like.
Whatever. All right, but we're talking season 1. So season 1, we get introduced to the Mandalorian, who's he's hunting down a bounty, and he goes into a bar because that's what we do in space. We go into bars, we go into spaceships, and we go into the woods.
Well, that's what you do in Star Wars.
Yeah. So,
that's what you do in Star Wars.
But when we go into a city, we go into a bar.
Yeah, we go to a bar because that's.
That's the social setting.
Yeah, because I felt like a GM was DMing an adventure party. Where do you start? At the bar, and that's how it usually starts off. And it had a really strong presence in the first episode.
Well, I like it because that first episode really sets off the tone that he's a bounty hunter, and that he's pretty much a badass. Bounty hunter at that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I like it. It also reminds me of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. One of my favorite movies.
So Mandalorian is basically I've heard a lot of people say it's like a sci-fi western, and that's kind of like what you get for the feel for both seasons. I think is that sci-fi western feel to it.
Yeah. I agree. And I liked it. So. I like the characters. We get introduced to. So spoilers, right? We're talking about season 1, and if you haven't seen season 1 by now, I don't know what to say. You should have watched season 1 by now.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, I liked the introduction of characters. Carl Weathers' character, Gina Carano's character.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this right off the bat for this. The lazy writing of Disney. Let's call him Mando for, Mandalorian, lazy writing there.
Why is it lazy?
Well, why can't we call him something else? Because, I don't know.
We find out what his name is later on.
Yeah, Mando.
No, his name is not Mando.
That's what they've been calling him.
That's what they call him starting in episode 1. You find out his real name.
Season 2, they call him too. I must have missed that because season 2, they call him Mando too.
They always call him Mando. But they tell you his real name in the last season. In the first to the last episode of season 1.
I must have missed it because that's all I hear. I was like, wow, this is lazy writing.
I don't think it's lazy writing. I think it was intentional that we don't know what his name is because he is a Mandalorian. And he's a bounty hunter. Yeah. And they don't want to know what his name. He doesn't want his name out there.
Okay.
So, but we end up finding it out at the end when we'll get to it.
Okay. So we have some old baddies from the original. The Empire's still lingering around. This is after a couple years after the Empire has lost and has exploded the Death Star. So the Empire is still out there, okay, but not as strong as it used to be.
Why?
Why? Because the Emperor is dead? Emperor is dead. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we know that's not true.
Right.
And so the Alliance is basically hunting down the Empire. It's kind of interesting that these troopers actually know how to shoot, somewhat.
So that's very, very important, because I can't tell you how many friends have said to me, I don't understand like why this character's there, why that character's there. They don't understand that this whole series starts after Return of the Jedi. So the Empire has fallen.
Yeah.
And as far as we know, the Emperor is dead. So that's and so now things are kind of in a state of flux, right?
Yeah.
You have the rebels who are now forming their new alliance, and you have the Empire that's in disarray. So you have ships here and there, and you have former leaders of the Empire who are, I guess, kind of jockeying for position to take over a sector here or there. That's kind of how I felt.
And the also one thing, most of this is in the Outer Rim, I believe.
Well, that's what we've seen so far, and that's where we start, is kind of in the Outer Rim.
Yeah, most of it's in the Outer Rim. So the Outer Rim has always been chaos anyways. So, even with the Empire there, it's always been chaos. So it's kind of interesting how we see some homage to the Carbonite, the holding of prisoners in the first episode.
Which that was great, right? That was a great little nod to Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Gonna freeze this guy in carbonite. And that's how that's how he gets his bounties.
Yep.
That's how he captures his bounties.
So you kind of learn about the Mandalorians as a whole, also.
Slowly.
Yeah.
First of all, what do we learn? He's not truly a Mandalorian from Mandalore.
No.
Right?
So just like the Jedi, they kind of adopt.
Okay, so you have to know is that Mandalore is no more. They've kind of, the Empire destroyed the planet, not like they did with not Endor. What's the name of the planet?
Alderaan.
Alderaan, not like Alderaan.
I didn't know.
Right, not like Alderaan. They just kind of glassed the planet, so they kind of took out all the vegetation and everything. So it's a dead planet. So now those people have scattered throughout the universe, and they're going back to the original way of the Mandalore, which was like there are foundlings and they live by a certain code. And what we eventually find out is that Mando is one of the foundlings, and so he wasn't born on Mandalore, but he was raised as within their culture. And
it's a very warrior society culture, yeah.
Right, where their weapons are their religion.
Yeah.
Right, and so we learn that as we progress, and he gets tasked out. He's a highly respected bounty hunter, always comes in with the bounty and wants to get paid, and he's looking for more jobs, and he ends up taking on a job where he's got to go and collect a target.
Yeah,
that's at least 50 years old.
We all know what the target is, guys, because everybody says it. Everybody's like, oh my god, look at it's Baby Yoda. That's all we hear.
But we didn't know it was Baby Yoda to start with. And he lands on a planet, and he befriends this guy called Quill. And Quill helps him along the way.
Quill is like the elder of the Star, like the elder, like Obi-Wan or Yoda, very like teacher-like in his own way.
Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting how you see this
So he's an Argonaut,
Yeah.
okay? And
Those are the things that were like in Empire Strikes Back on Cloud City.
yes.
Yes, I thought so. You're
Yeah.
like, rah!
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
All
was
right.
the
Okay.
carbon freezing chamber, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So he's an Argonaut, and he did work for the Empire. He's been freed. He's trying to live his own peaceful life, but life has not been so peaceful on his planet because so many people are trying to capture this target, which we later find out is Baby Yoda, and he's being held by some type of group of pirates, and but the former Empire, they want Baby Yoda for some reason, and Mando is gonna get him.
Oh yeah.
And so Mando finds out where the target is.
The first fight scene was amazing.
Yeah, but we're not even up to that yet. So he gets there.
He's
yes.
gonna describe
He's
the
gonna
whole
get
first
it.
season, the
No,
whole first episode.
No,
okay.
but it's important to mention because there's a
okay.
big character that
yeah,
comes in.
Yeah. All
right?
right. Yeah.
So and when he tries to get the target, we get to see an IG unit, not IG-88, which is who we saw in Empire Strikes Back. This is IG-11. And so IG-11, he's a bounty hunter. He's a droid. One of the things we learn about the Mandalorian is he does not like droids whatsoever.
With good reason.
Which you find out, right? But yes.
Because you start to see flashbacks within the season, the first season, of
right.
why he's the way he is.
And in the story there is, which unfolds, is we find out that his parents were murdered by droids that we saw from seasons.
Trade Federation.
From the Trade Federation, right? Okay.
Yeah, it was from
episodes 1 through 3 in the prequels of Star Wars. So we've seen those droids there. We've also seen them in the series, the Clone Wars animated series. We've seen them there as well. So so that's why he doesn't like droids, doesn't trust droids. They have an amazing fight sequence.
Yes, they do.
And he gets Baby Yoda.
Yes.
And then he brings Baby Yoda back to turn him in for the reward.
So,
but
what happens? Tell him what the reward is, though.
Well, but along the way, before he turns him in, he kind of forms a little bond with the little guy.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
And so when he does go to turn him in, there's a lot of hesitation. He wants to know why. What are you going to do with him? But you know what? That's kind of against the rules. I just need you to acquire him. And your payment is 100% Beskar ingots that the Empire pretty much, when they took care of Mandalore, they went out there and they acquired the armor of other Mandalorians.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. Whatever.
And so they got the Mandalore outfits, melted down all the armor, and formed Beskar.
Which is kind of like any of other, like, geek metal out there, like Vibranium or like any of the comic stuff. You know, it's like indestructible from armor. It's very lightweight.
Yeah.
Type of deal. So.
Yeah.
And they melted up, and so we actually meet a really cool character, which I wish there was more backstory on her. The smither of the.
Yep. So her name was. She forges all the armor,
and she's like an elder. She's like the elder of the.
Right. But so he gets paid. He turns in Baby Yoda. He gets paid, and so he brings the ingots, the Beskar, to the armor, and she forges him a uniform out of this Beskar. And the thing about Beskar is that it's laser, it can deflect all the lasers, and we learn
lightsabers too.
But we find that out later. We'll talk about that later. But so that's all been alluded to because we know that Mandalorians and Jedi were enemies of one another, and so we know that their armor was impervious to blaster shots and lightsabers. So anyway, he's got his new uniform on. It weighs on him that he's turned over Baby Yoda.
It's all shiny now. It's not like rusted.
Yeah.
He's got some pluses to it. It looks pretty good on him, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And so now he decides, you know what? I'm going to free Baby Yoda. And so he goes in and rescues Baby Yoda from the Empire. And that essentially puts a huge target on his back. Then
you see another epic fight scene.
Another epic fight scene where Mandalorians come to his rescue.
Yes, and they're all supposed to stay hidden, so you only see one Mandalorian at a time, so people don't find them, because the Empire's still hunting them, also. And so this is like a little set of a collection of Mandalorians in the underground. And they come out with their, like, rocket jets, and they're blasting away, and it's pretty cool to see that. And one of the things we also learn about their culture, of this anyways, is they never take off their helmets to anybody.
Because that's their religion.
That's their religions for Mandalorian.
Yeah.
When we talk about season 2, we'll get in more depth with that. Also.
Yep.
But it was okay. I kind of liked it. You know, he drives a clunky old ship, kind of like it reminds me of the Falcon and stuff like that. It's just junker.
Well, it looks nothing like the Millennium Falcon.
No. It's got its own deal.
To me, it reminds me more of, like, say, Slave One, because it's functional. There's no frills about it, right? It's a ship.
It's basic.
Yeah, it's a ship that I'm going to use that has armor. I can fly. I can go and capture my targets and bring them back, and it's just a basic ship, no frills.
Yep. So what ends up happening is the guild puts a bounty on him.
Well, who's the guild? We didn't even talk about that.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. The guild is what he works for.
So all of the bounty hunters belong to a guild of bounty hunters. And the leader of that bounty hunter is Grief Karga. Grief Karga is played by Carl Weathers. He does a pretty darn good job. I feel like it takes a little while for him to kind of feel the character out.
Yeah. Well, like I said, everything, like, season 1 feels like every actor is trying to, like, get into that role.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And so they do their best. The actors do their best, but it's good because as you get into season 2, I feel like the actors have found who their characters really are.
And then we also get a phrase because, you know, we need a phrase in Star Wars because, you know, the Force is with you. Yeah. You know, join the dark side, and now we have.
I have spoken.
Well, no, I have spoken, and. This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way. So these are the two ones that are the catchphrases that, like, carry on to this series.
But as far as the Mandalorians are concerned, the Mandos live by a creed of this is the way. And so that's their saying. But to kind of zip through all of season 1, let's just mention that essentially what you get is you're introduced to a few key characters throughout the season, and the season is only 8 episodes, I believe.
Yeah.
So you meet Cara Dune. Cara Dune is played by Gina Carano. She's a former
jump trooper, like Astro, like hardcore, like basically Halo. Those drum. Yeah.
She's right over my shoulder.
Yeah, she's watching. She's gonna kick your butt.
I hope so.
So yeah, they're like for a Halo reference, they're the ones who jump out of the atmosphere onto the planet, type of deal. That's their Star Wars version of it. Very hardcore. She's badass.
There's great casting for her. Great casting because there's a lot of physical elements to her character, and Gina Carano's able to pull it off extremely well. Very believable. I thought her acting was not bad to start with. I think as the season goes on, her acting got better. I think her acting got really good in season 2. I liked her better in season 2. And I think she's new to acting anyway, so she's just a student of it at the moment.
Yeah.
And but I like her. I like her a lot. There are many other people they probably could have cast, but I don't know that if they would have been as believable from a physical aspect. And I think Gina Carano does an incredible job with that role, and I'm very happy that she's
So
got cast.
who else do we have for? Oh wait, we have that comedian guy also.
Yeah, that's
Was that season 2 or?
no, they
So
bring
is that
him in.
season 1?
No, season 1
Okay.
because but let's talk about some of the other characters, right? So there's that, and then we talked about Creel. Creel is the voice is done by who?
It's right there, dude.
No, it's not. It's not
No?
here. No, it's
What?
not.
Why? Oh.
Nick Nolte. Nick Nolte is the voice of
Okay.
Queel.
Okay.
Yeah, Nick Nolte. You'll recognize he has a very iconic voice. Good. He's not the actual performer that we see on screen, but he is doing the voice. Just like, in case you don't know, that I'm trying to remember all the names. Pedro Pascal. He is the voice of the Mandalorian. He is in the armor, but not through every scene, and certainly
Yeah.
not every episode.
Yeah.
In fact, that was one of the things. Every once in a while, I can tell it's not him,
Right.
just by the body movements, the head movements. I usually can tell that they either have an actor or a stuntman.
Perspective over here.
So anyway, so as the season goes on, you pick up other characters
Yeah.
that follow him along his journey, and his journey is that he's protecting Baby Yoda, but he's got a target now. He is the bounty,
Yeah.
and the guild have all been tasked by the Empire to capture Baby Yoda. And if you happen to kill Mando, fine.
Yeah,
But they
whatever.
want Baby Yoda. That's what they really
Yeah, they
want.
want Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting that Baby Yoda, he uses the Force, and because he uses the Force, and Mando has never seen this happen before. Never, and so a lot of people don't know what Jedi are because they've been extinct for a long time.
Oh, sorry.
We have a little intruder here.
Yeah, a little intruder.
That's fine. Whatever. So the Jedi have been extinct, so nobody knows about the Force. Nobody knows about, Yoda or any of things like that because it's all mumbo jumbo. And basically saved Mando's life. So that's where the bond comes from. I think. That's where he thinks that. He's like, maybe I should save the kid, and keeps calling him the kid. So, a little too cute for my aspect. I feel like that was just a ploy from Disney, like bringing the cute characters for the stuff like that.
So, have you ever seen Shogun Assassin?
No.
Okay. I'll have to dig it out because you need to watch Shogun Assassin. Because one of the things about the series is it's kind of modeled after the spaghetti westerns.
Oh, okay,
Good, Bad,
yeah,
Near,
yeah.
And Shogun Assassin, which is he is a Shogun warrior that has a journey with his son, who he walks around in this kind of carriage, which is what we see Baby Yoda's in that.
Yeah, floating carriage, which he brings everywhere. So, all in all, it was okay, but, I don't understand the hype about the whole season.
The reason why you don't understand the hype is because you don't understand the backstory.
I think I'm just overly Star Wars out, honestly.
Really? Yeah.
Probably, yeah, because Disney's been, throwing it out. And we'll discuss more on Season 2, why,
But
reasons.
before you go there, how could you be Disneyed out? We haven't had a movie in over a year.
Oh,
We've only had one season, The Mandalorian.
Mandalorian, yeah, but all
Now
the
we
other
had
ones,
season 2. We had to wait a whole year for that with no movies
Oh
in
my
between.
god. Yeah, but then they're going to be doing... Yeah.
Okay. Let me just wrap up, though. Season 1 is that we find out that he's picked up a crew along the way.
Yep.
I mentioned that Grief Karga, Queel, IG-11 comes back, and also Cara Dune. That's his core group of people. And
Yes.
they're there trying to help Mando to protect Baby Yoda. And that's pretty much the setup. for season 1, and we end season 1 where he is now tasked by the armorer that he must now find Baby Yoda's people and return him to his people. And the armorer believes his people are the Jedi because Baby Yoda is Force sensitive.
Yeah.
And
he was like, "Well, aren't they our enemies? Why would I give them to the enemies?" And she's like, "That catchphrase, this is the way. The way. That's how you have to go."
But one of the things that gets set up for season 2 is that we find out we have one character called Moff Gideon. Moff Gideon is a character. He is a Mandalorian. I'm sorry. He's part of the Empire. He's now leading multiple ships, multiple garrison of troops. Even though the Empire has fallen, he's still leading them. And why he needs Baby Yoda, we don't know. We just know that he wants them. They want to perform tests on him. We don't know what for, but they want him. And then at the end, we find out that he is in possession of something called the Dark Saber. If you don't know what the Dark Saber is, you'd have to have watched one of the seasons of the Clone Wars, the animated series, and you'd also have to watch Star Wars Rebels. But if you haven't, all you need to know it is a black lightsaber. Different than a saber, it's a blade.
Oh yeah,
unlike
it's
other
pretty
things we've
nasty
seen.
looking. And the other thing is, did they have the Shadow Troopers in this one?
No, that's season 2.
Oh, okay.
So,
oops.
So he wants Baby Yoda.
He wants him bad.
And he wants him bad.
He wants him bad.
And that's how we set up season 2. Is that the Mandalorian is on his way to find Jedi that he wants to drop off Baby Yoda to, and Moff Gideon is going to pursue him because he wants that Baby Yoda. That's what he wants.
Baby Yoda.
And that's that. That's how we finished season 1. I personally loved it because there's a lot of practical effects. They're all shot on the stage.
And it wasn't overly CGI. I will say that much.
So the background, they use a gaming engine to do the background. So it's 360 degrees.
Yeah.
So I guess I saw a little behind the scenes.
Of course you did.
And the actors like it. They like that they can see the environment that they're in.
Yeah.
They can picture the environment that they're in. So anyway, I like it. It definitely feels like Star Wars to me. I like the writing. I like the character development. Is it perfect? I don't think it's perfect, but I definitely think it's way better than the last 3 movies we've seen, the sequels.
Oh, I'll give you that much. It's better than the other crap that Disney's been putting out, except for Rogue One. But I still, like I said, it's okay. I don't know what the overhype is about. Like, I don't know why fans are just going.
Do you want me to explain that to you?
No, we'll do that for the
But you're just saying you don't know. So let me tell you why. Because those of us that are true Star Wars fans.
Oh, here we go.
Feel betrayed by Kathleen Kennedy, because she said that when she was going to take on the responsibility of leading Lucasfilm via Disney, that she was going to protect these characters and what George Lucas had built.
Nope.
And she really hasn't protected those characters. And I'm not going to get into the whole Kathleen Kennedy thing because, quite honestly,
we don't like to throw garbage anywhere.
Okay, all right. So you don't like to throw garbage.
He's like, this is why. Well,
but my thing is, I didn't care for the sequels as much as I liked the prequels. And to me, I don't see any movie that's on the level, any Star Wars movie yet that's come to the level of the original trilogy. So, but The Mandalorian is as close as I feel we've come to get to that level. And so that's why people are excited, because we feel betrayed by the sequels, and now we're kind of rebuilding. That's where I'm at with it. That's why.
Okay. So now, thank you guys for joining us. We will be talking about season 2 in the next video. Mandalorian, so like and subscribe. And we have other things to discuss. Have a wonderful day. I am Grimlock Stonehammer with Mr. Wayne here.
And we'll see you when we review season 2.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.